Hi, I'm Max Patton. Today I'm in Paris, traveling for spring break, but I thought I'd take this opportunity because it's 2 days after the March for Our Lives happened in cities around the world, including Paris. I thought I'd take this opportunity to talk to some students here. Right now I'm around American University of Paris, which is a university where there's a lot of American students studying abroad full-time here. So I just want to get their thoughts as people in Europe, where obviously the situation with gun violence in schools is very different. Get their thoughts on what they think of the issue and their sense of solidarity for the people fighting for it in America and around the world as well. So let's get some of their thoughts and do that. On y va.
Hi, I'm Lauren.
Hi, I'm Fiona. We're students at the American University of Paris.
My name is Jay. I'm studying abroad in Paris for a year. I'm from McLean, Virginia, which is a suburban town outside of Washington, D.C.
I'm Sydney.
I'm Bren.
And you guys are studying at the American University of Paris?
Yes.
2 days ago, a lot of students around the world marched in March for Our Lives, including here in Paris. Were you part of that? And if not, do you feel any solidarity with the American students fighting for ending gun violence?
No, definitely. I wasn't a part of it, but I was there in spirit. I totally wanted to march with them and show my support and solidarity for it.
Yeah, if I could have been in DC, I would have been there.
It's just that a movement started in America was able to spread all the way out here to Paris. And it was like a really big march as well. It was near Chocadero, and I saw like a big turnout. And I think it's great.
So you noticed it here in person, but also like on social media, there was a lot of outreach?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, I saw it a lot on Twitter and Facebook, and partially on Instagram.
My sisters both marched in it, and so they sent me videos, and I knew about it through them and also through social media.
Why do you think gun violence is uniquely an American problem when it comes to schools?
I mean, guns aren't treated with the same severity in the U.S. that they are here. Like, even though there's a prevalence of cops on the street that carry guns, when events like that happen in a place like France, they take measures to stop guns from being in schools, as
Right.
opposed to the U.S. where they don't do anything.
The gun law, obviously, and there's just a bigger culture in America in terms of like gun control or like gun possession of guns. Like, there are people who are like more passionate about guns than others. It's like having this possession is like it really doesn't bother you unless you have it.
Guns are so easy to get in America. Like, it's really ridiculous. The laws aren't as strict for some reason.
And so you support the students marching for stricter
I
laws?
do, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How do you feel things are going to change this time because of, how active things have gotten? Do you think there's actually a chance of things changing?
I think there's definitely a chance. I
Yeah.
mean, so many more people are speaking up about it. I think, I don't know, I feel like now people are calling out politicians and that's sort of making them nervous also. So I think it's the time for change.
So at a certain point, politicians have kids too.
Yeah.
And I think that will resonate eventually, even with Republicans.
I think yes, but no. This is not the Florida shooting is not the first big shooting. in
That's
America.
true, yeah.
One of my friend's cousins actually like in the school. I think it's gonna take more time.
I hope. I really hope. I feel like now more than like ever would be like a good time for it to change.
I feel like there's a greater uproar now, and people are using their voices more.
Okay, so to finish off this video, I'm going to talk to two organizers of the March for Our Lives in Paris, actually, because this was an international movement as well. This happened in cities everywhere, and the event in Paris actually had about 500 people. It was quite large, so I'm going to talk to two of the organizers behind that on what inspired them to do that and their experience, again, as Americans living abroad, and their solidarity and sympathy with the issue. So let's have them finish off this video.
Yeah, so I'm Tommaso. I'm a high school student and I'm one of the co-organizers for March for Our Lives Paris.
I'm also a co-organizer of the march. My name is Claire Nanton. We're both 17 years old and we go to the International School of Paris.
Well, we had a great turnout and people were very passionate, and it showed that even abroad people think it's time for gun control.
Yeah, it was really awesome to see so many people of different nationalities. There were Americans, there were French, there were Australians, there were British people, just people from all around the world. Yeah, and as Tommaso said, it was really inspiring just to see people from all these different walks of life, and even just tourists walking up and seeing, oh, I want to be a part of this.
Yeah, so I mean, our crowd estimate are around 500 people.
Wow.
And I mean, everyone was there, they were really into it, they were chanting, everyone had posters, so it was really great.
As we were all Americans that planned it, but it was really awesome to see French people there, and I know the march itself, the international marches, have gotten some backlash from people saying, Americans, keep your politics in your own country, but I think it speaks volumes and shows how important the cause is, that people from all around the world think that it's so important. I think that it says a lot to our congressmen, to our legislators, and even to Trump.
In France and in countries all over the world, we see that gun control does work, that more gun control stops criminals from getting guns. We see the amount of shootings and mass shootings in countries like France compared to the United States, and we see how ridiculous it is that the United States has failed to pass such gun laws because of the real impact on saving lives that it could have.
And we see in Paris as well, even with the recent terrorist attacks, the government has gone above and beyond to make sure that things like this don't happen again. Columbine, one of the really, really large first mass shootings in schools in the US, we saw that after that there wasn't a lot being done by our government to change, but we see in countries such as France, such as Switzerland, just a lot of EU countries in particular, that the government is doing so much, but we're not seeing that in our own country.
Well, I think it's important to show that most Americans do support this issue. As Claire said, it's on liberal versus conservative. A poll came out recently that said that 97% of Americans support more background checks. So I think it's just time for our congressmen, our legislators, and our elected officials to start listening to the people rather than the other right.
I wanted to say that it was so amazing at the march itself, and we had a pre-rally on the Thursday before, and we got so many people signed up to vote from abroad, which is such a big deal. I know personally, living in Paris, there is such a large American community, and I'm sure there is all around the world, and it's really important for those Americans who are living abroad. They don't have to feel helpless. They can vote from abroad, and they can really help make a change. And on November 6th, they can vote them out too.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.